Hi travelers, this is going to be your new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, your new moon, Gemini new moon solar eclipse reading. So it's an open reading. And what I'm going to be doing today, I haven't done one of these in a long time. I'm going to do a 15 card Sibila spread. So what that means is there will not be any clarifiers. I'm going to do my best to bring you the story, whatever the cards are talking about. I do get the sense that because this is a Gemini new moon solar eclipse, we also know that Mercury just went direct on the 7th, and he is conjuncting this eclipse. So this is information, I think, coming to light, information coming to you, information that you learn, something that you learn, something that maybe somebody tells you, that you find out, quote unquote, accidentally. So it's one of those things. I know that it's all of the electronic stuff has really been acting weird. A lot of companies, their internet went down. You know, they couldn't operate. It's been acting kind of weird. This thing with my phone, I realized yesterday that I hadn't received any voicemail messages, which is highly unusual for me. But I'm just like, whatever, I didn't pay it really any attention. And for a whole week, And so Jessica Adams was texting on Twitter yesterday. And she's like, yeah, if you've got any factors at 22 Gemini or anything at 22 Gemini, everything's all crazy. And so I was like, oh, yeah, I escaped that. I think I did, And then it clicked to me something was amiss. And I was like, you know what? I haven't received any text, email, voicemail messages for like a week. And then right when I said that, I kept tapping my voicemail. And it wasn't showing me anything. And then all of a sudden, I looked down and I had 28 voicemail messages. So it's kind of that thing. It's a delayed information or information that's coming in, but it's come to you in a weird way. So we shall see. I have already done some shuffling and meditation on your sign. I've already done some shuffling and meditation for this particular reading, so I'm just going to turn the camera around. I'm not going to shuffle anymore. I'm simply going to lay the cards, okay? Make sure I'm not knocking anything off my desk. There we go. Put the camera down. So again, there will be no clarifiers with this, and there will be no extra card at the end. This is just the story, what the cards are telling me. So here we go. The dilettanti. Di mercante. Wow. The prigione. The ammalato. Wow, this is an ugly line. The l'amante, female lover. Or the woman who is shy about expressing herself. Now, she is, for all intents and purposes, the Queen of Cups. However, she can be any sign. And basically what it means is you're in an emotional time, and whatever's happening is affecting you on an emotional, very deep emotional level. That's my first line. Costanza. Oh, wow. Stanza. Wow. Riunione. This is strange. Conversazione. L'amante, male lover. Known as a, what do you call it? A Knight of Cups. But can also simply be this other idea of something emotional, okay? But it has to do with the idea of waiting, so to speak. Oh, wow. Disgrazia. Wow. Limoneo. Hmm. Hmm. Vedovo. Letterato. Pensiero. Wow. This is where we are now. This speaks to the past. This speaks to the future. This is really interesting because this top line is a hideous, ugly line. This one in the center, and that would be past, present, future as well. This line in the center is really, it's all positive cards. Okay. And then it's this line down at the bottom that is, I don't even know what it is. So I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, let's say 4 significator cards, but I don't think it's necessarily 4 people here. What I'm seeing across the top, this looks to be a situation in which you've been dealing with someone who has been very, very difficult to deal with. Someone who is irrational, maybe prone to fits of jealousy, maybe even fits of melancholia. So someone like a bipolar kind of a type of personality, but yet someone who's extremely strong, and what I mean strong, aggressive, and kind of overbearing and domineering. I don't know as well as if this person has done something illegal or may even be in jail and or prison. But the indication is that the person, whatever situation that is occurring, it's this idea of not being able to get out of it. There's some great sadness here. This could even be this idea that there's something either illicit or illegal going on. It's definitely some confusion here. We see this Lamante sitting way over here. She's some distance away from this Mercante, this male figure that we're looking at here. And so I'm not exactly sure if what I'm looking at is if this person has done something and you guys are separated. This person has really done something quite ugly or quite, what do you call it? Maybe dangerous or illegal. And the person has been that way for quite some time, the La Costanza. It's like you've been giving this individual, you've been as patient as you can be. You've been waiting around hoping that things change, but we see that goes up in smoke. Something is done, I think, in public. Oh, wow, did you hear my stomach? Something has been done in public which has caused some great humiliation and some pain. It is associated with this marriage. We see here the Mercante wants to speak, or I don't know if there's an affair. Maybe there was an affair that was happening. I don't necessarily think that, but I think that you and the individual know each other very, very well. And maybe at one point were married or thinking about being married. This is all in the past now, right? We also see, I don't know if this hope of getting back together, coming back together, meeting, having a conversation, and maybe the person softening up a little bit or are changing their stance, or maybe you're able to discuss and or negotiate something with the individual. But again, we see that goes up in flames. I don't think the person even shows up, quite frankly. We see this here, the prigione. Maybe this is you. Maybe you decide that you're just not going to meet with the person. I don't know if this was an arranged marriage or a marriage of quote unquote maybe convenience, or maybe there was financial gain for one or the other individual, you or this person that you are dealing with. But this card tells me that no matter what the situation, this person does not know how to love. They are in it for their own interest, and that in a way, if they're contacting you or if they're trying to set up a meeting with you, it's not because their heart has softened. Okay, it's not that. You see how he's behind the limoneo and the disgracia. Yeah, maybe he's sad and he's remorseful that you guys have split, or maybe this is you. Maybe you are sad and remorseful that you guys have split. But this is an indication that the person is going to stay the way that they are. This is evidenced by this La Costanza. Nothing has changed. Nothing is going to change. I don't know if this individual is hanging around other people. Maybe, you're married to the person and all they do is hang out with their, quote unquote, with their friends. You know what I'm saying? They drink, they get high, whatever the case may be. But, that's a continuing theme and it's not going to change. It is this letterato and pensiero here, that particularly the letterato, because the letterato describes the idea of someone who's extremely smart, very calculating, but this idea that he's waiting to have a conversation with someone. So he's but he's prepared. He's prepared exactly what he's going to say. And it may sound like something really wonderful or that the individual has changed, but this is telling me that it's not. So the question becomes for you, if you recognize this situation, so you need to give great thought to that. You can see we're pondering this whole situation here. You've been thinking about it for a long time and holding out hope that the situation is going to change, but the situation, I don't see it changing. This is like a getting together and just kind of wanting, let's see what the person has to say. That's another thing, okay, that's coming across. Let me see what the person has to say. But let's see, there's a knighting here. I think that you are still wishful and hopeful that something good can come out of this, or maybe that the person will change their mind or soften their heart. But even here, we see with the knighting here, okay, there is this meeting to, I don't know, negotiate or publicly declare or publicly say whatever it is that needs to be said. I think he is also waiting to hear what you have to say. I think there's something else here. There's this hint or feeling that there's a third party or another person, here the plurality of the situation. This riunione is not just about a reunion. It is simply about a date or meeting, getting together with people in a public place so that you can have discussions. I would say that if you're going to do that, being in a public place would be the best thing. Do not meet the person at their home quietly, someplace like that, because the person has a propensity for being quite nasty and vicious. I don't know if this is the idea that the person did something and they went to jail, and maybe you are sad and remorseful or sick that went down that way. But this card says that the person has to take responsibility for their own thing, and only they can get themselves out of it. Yeah, I mean, you if you try to take away people's karma, if you try to take away their lessons to learn, you only enable the individual. And I think if you say to the person, I can't help you, or I'm not going to help you get out of this, this is going to, I think you're going to see the true individual come out here, the vedovo and the letterato. Something was done in secret. This is what I keep picking, and I think that's why this is standing out to me so much. It doesn't really speak necessarily to an affair. It tells me that something really outrageous or crazy was done in secret, but the individual got caught in whatever this partnership was. They got caught. Are they remorseful? Are they sad? Yeah, but not really. There's something else happening here. See, that's the Eight of Wands and the Nine of Spades. Let me take a look here. It's legal trouble. This is what this is. It's some legal trouble, but it also represents victims. And somebody's saying, you know what? Well, they're powerless to if this card can also herald a separation and or a divorce. Well, that's apparent here. There was something I wanted to look at that I wasn't quite. It is the dilettante, because there are two cards that have shown up here. It is, let me see, what number is the 9? That is correct. Hold on one second. Because I saw something here. I'm trying to remember where I saw it. Some time ago. There's something that has triggered in my head. So just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second here. Maybe it wasn't that card. Maybe it was with the... It just triggered something. That's why I'm kind of dwelling over on this side of the reading, because it... Something... The card's trying to tell me something. Here we go. Near the 9 of Spades, and the Ace of Clubs, it speaks to an arranged marriage. But basically in love, it is about someone being selfish and having ulterior motives in the reading. What's interesting is I have 3 aces here. Ace of Coins, Ace of Hearts, Ace of Clubs. But I also have the 7 of Spades. Whatever this thing is, and that's something that I saw back here. I think with the Prigione that I was just looking at. Let me see here. Yes. It warns of a potential loss of freedoms and of situations of subordination and subjugation. If this card is found near hold on. Hold on 1 second. Found near the 7 of Spades. There. That's what it says. The consequences of this loss of freedom and autonomy will be especially tragic and drastic for its victim. Maybe that's what that's telling me. Maybe that's what that's telling me. Because this is about the loss of a spouse or partner. But it could be from death. This really has some kind of violent tendency to it. If you recognize the situation, if you know this person and you've gotten away from them, do not meet with the person in private, okay? I think there may be some kind of invitation to come, let's meet, let's talk. do not do it. Please give it a second thought. Because this guy, let me tell you about the Vedival. It heralds separation, arguments, incompatibility, rancor, and resentment. A relationship devoid of love. Okay? With the Letterato, he's kind of showing up. He's just a cold, calculating person. And he feels like he's reversed. So it speaks to someone not to be trusted because a person has an ulterior motive. The person is cold-blooded and without scruples. The person can plot an elaborate revenge down to the tiniest detail and wait years or a long time until the time is right to act. And it represents an extremely selfish and calculating person. But it also says that it indicates someone who is not able to think straight as a result of not being able to cope with outside circumstances. That comes across again here. It warns of a promise that will not be kept and trouble in the relationship. One partner has fallen out of love with the other, or is seeing someone else, or is taking advantage of the other in a calculating way. That's what this has been telling me. Even though these are two aces. Okay? In the past, you know, it was all about we knew everything. We publicly were saying we were in love with each other. But the person is coming from this. And this tells you kind of mentally what the person is all about. I don't know if maybe the person was in jail and they got out. And, you know, maybe you met them on the internet. Hell, I don't know. Bottom line is, they're not who you think they are. Okay? And if you had trouble with them before, right, you're going to have that kind of trouble again. And it could even be that there's something about the person that you don't know yet. So again, I'm giving you this warning. The Sabilas are trying to warn you that this individual is not someone you really want to be alone with, or to piss off, or to make angry, or to deny them whatever it is they're trying to demand from you. This is what I have for you. See, this even implies that some of you got to meet this person. But when you get there, you what you thought you knew, or what the person told you knew about them, is completely different. The person is completely different from them. Now, I don't know. This says that, you know what? One of the meanings of this card is somebody who is a pharmacy or works for a pharmacy company. So I don't know if this person was a drug dealer, you know, who went to prison. Okay? That thug life kind of thing. You know, and while a person's been away, y'all been communicating and pining away, but this person is not going to change. And there's a hint that the person is with you for an ulterior motive. What that ulterior motive is, I can't really say. Okay? But I would give this some thought. Right now, I think you are being judged by your emotions. I think the person will show up in the guise of, oh my God, you know, we waited so long to see each other. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. You know, let's do this. All the stuff we talked about. There are too many negative cards here for me to dismiss that I should say, yeah, go ahead and do it. And so that's what I have for you. I hope that this helped someone out there. You know, if you recognize that situation, if you know. And I honestly feel with these two cards, this last row, that this is about your intuition telling you that something is not right, whatever that is. You don't have to know exactly what's not right. Trust that your intuition is telling you for a reason something is not right. Okay? And if it were me, because the energy coming off these cards and this individual is quite nasty. If it was me, I try to get away and cut ties as fast and as soon as I can. That's what I have for you. Until next time, I do hope those messages help. Be well, stay safe. Namaste.